was me forever, I think. So it's coming up 20 years. I also worked at Highlands Village up here as well as one of the nurses, and then transitioned through to village management when the opportunity came up to look after and lead a really small but tight-knit team at our Edgewater village. We actually used to be called Pakaranga Village, but the residents wanted some change, so they wanted to name themselves Edgewater Village because we are on Edgewater. But there's also another village down on Pakaranga Highway called Pakaranga Village, so we actually still get very much confused by them as well. We get phone calls quite a lot with people looking for them, and I hope that they get the same from their side as well. So I've got a couple of slides, but I'm not really good with facts, so I've had to write them all down for you. So we've got some nice pretty diagrams, so you can read a lot of it as well. We've actually expanded quite a lot over the last 4 years. We've almost doubled in size our portfolio. So we're actually now the third largest retirement village age provider in New Zealand. And we're, I believe, a lot more well known now as Metlife Care, not Edgewater Metlife Care. They've done really well with our brand. We were actually established in 1984, so we've been around for quite a while now. Maybe various name changes, but the portfolio and has obviously progressively changed from then, and we've had a few ownership changes as well since then. So many of our sites have co-located care homes, so that means that we span across both independent living villages and have a care home on site as well. Excuse me. So when we say a village, most of the time it is actually with all of those offerings on site. And of course they're trying to grow that even more with our care offering as well. So in many cases, residents will enter the village as an independent resident, and this is normally from 70 years and over, just when you're starting to get a new lease on life as a retiree. But then obviously, as not always, but as some people's care needs increase, then they move through into one of our care facilities. So it's really nice now that we have a lot more of those care facility offerings as well, so you don't actually have to leave a lot of the people that you've become really friendly with at the village. And as you can see on the map, it's pretty much North Island dominant there, as well as Auckland. So there's like 20 in Auckland. And then we've just started expanding down our South Island. As I said, they've got, if you like Wanaka, there's a greenfield development going on down there. So nice big brand new on this nice greenfield site. So Wanaka sounds a bit nice, apart from the snow. So I think that is Metlife Care at a glance. But if Sanae and I can do anything today, our main goal, and we'll be high-fiving each other if we succeed, is to just break down any sort of stigma around what retirement village living is. It's not, yes, we have rest homes on site, but it happens a lot for myself, and people ask where I work, and they go, and I say a retirement village, they go, oh, so is that hospital level? So, no, it's a retirement village. We are a village of people, we are a community. So if we can break down, if any of you have any, that's fine, lots of people do. We just want to show you actually what retirement village living is, whether that is Metlife Care, or I know, there's lots of options out there, right? There's Ryman has a really big name, Oceania has a really big name, so does Somerset. There's lots of options out there. It's just Metlife Care's the best. So of course, Rashida may have told you, a lot of people come into the village, it's a lock up and leave. No, you get especially apartments, and in our villas outside, the gates are locked every day. There's a security that does monitoring. It's lock up and leave. You don't have to worry about your gardens, your lawns, your maintenance. You don't have to come home to a jungle when you get back off your 5-week cruise. It's a bit of camaraderie. We are Edgewater is a very inclusive village, care and independent living. It's a nice little family. It's a lot of people move there for the security, but then also the social life. And then a lot of people move there because it's closer to where their families live. We've had a lot of people come through from out of Auckland. And so now I'll talk about why later. So next slide, please. Thank you. So this is kind of it's a nice little touch here. So these are all of our values. So every place has values. So these are all the values that all of our staff live and breathe every single day. This is a new one for us, being we live and work sustainably, but it's a really, really, really important one for us at village level as well, being more sustainable. So there's a lot of work going on through there. Our staff, I can proudly say, at our village absolutely live there and breathe these every single day. We actually had a very well attended shared morning tea at the end of last year, which all the staff put on all the food, invited all of the residents to come along and share it and enjoy, and then I surprised all the staff with some awards, which were very, very well earned. But by having that at the end of the year, it's actually doing all of these as well. So all the residents absolutely loved it there, because it was something that we could share with them. You know, it was a really, really nice event. But that's a little bit about the values that everyone in Metlife Care, we like to be bold to our Rashida.
Yeah.
Okay. So talking about a bit of, breaking down the stigma, I thought it'd be just nice to talk to you about some of our residents. So we have a Villager magazine that Sanae has been very kind to put some in a little goodie bag for you. This is released every quarter, and we've had quite a lot of our residents feature, Rashida will know who these people are, in our magazines, and it just shows a little bit about what village life is. And it's full of vibrancy. You can bring your pets as well. So Coco Chanel is the cutest cat in the world, this little pussy cat here, and she lives up in an apartment, and that was the deal breaker for Alexis moving in or not. It's like, I've got to be able to bring my cat. So you can see she's loving it. She's very well looked after, this pussy cat. But then we also have Misty, isn't it? Misty, yep. So Misty, we've actually got quite a few dogs in the village, and like it says at the bottom there, some of them lead out a treat or two. So that actually happens quite a lot. The residents, they take their dogs for the walk, creatures of habit still, usually in the morning, and we've got quite a few residents who pop out in their villas and have their little treats ready for each of the dogs as they come past. They all sort of line up and they've got them all. And of course we've got a lot of residents who have had pets in the past and they've died while in the village. So to be able to have this, it touches on that building of the community spirit, and that it's just like being in your own home, just better. Because you can bring all of your animals, you can meet all these great people. So yeah, they're very, very, very nice ladies, those two as well. And they've actually both been on holiday recently, and the residents missed seeing Misty walking around. They knew she was on holiday. Next one, please. This one, so this is Barry. Barry's very well known around the village, mostly by the blokes, because blokes bear and banter. So when I first started at Edgewater village, there were 7 men living there. It's nice and small, but a lot of the activities I used to get from them, they're all just for the ladies. And I was like, come on guys, let's get something going here. So Barry and I had a big chat, and of course it was very easy to win him over, because I said, let's give you some food and some beer, and he went, all right then, that'll be fine, thank you very much. So we organised what was called Blokes, Beer and Banter, and that occurs once a month. Barry's fantastic, he rounds all the men up, and he gets them out of the house for probably 3 hours once a month. And they all come down to the community centre, We put on a few beers and some hot chips, and they all just sit there, and like he says, talks anything from politics, religion, and to what's happening in the world. The only thing we don't talk about is women. Little does he know, all the ladies got together and said, Kaileigh, you've got to get the men out of the house. Can you organise something so I've got 3 free hours to myself? So that's actually really popular now. They sometimes get together and go off to the Howard Club as well, and they take advantage of, I think it's $12 lunches and things like that. It's got to the point now though that it's got out of control because there's 25 men at the village, and they all come along and actually really enjoy it. So it's got to the point we can't drive them in our little van anymore because there's too many people. But I mean, I'm just trying to show you a bit about what actual village life is. You know, it's not, you don't just come in there, life is over. It's actually, there's lots of things that can go on. We've got these two, next one please, these two lovely gentlemen. So this is George and Neil. So music has brought these two together. George was one of our very first residents in our new village, and Neil had actually been there for probably 2 years before. He moved up from down the line to be closer to all of his family, but not a heck of a lot in common otherwise apart from their music. So they have, since meeting, got together and performed in the care home. They performed for one of our big happy hours and one of our resident functions. Sanae has actually grabbed her ukulele and had a bit of a jam with them on a Friday night at our happy hour as well. So these two, they get together, they go off, do their thing. It's also sort of helped build, again, that inclusive community. So two totally different people from different walks of life, with music being their common theme, and they've just got together. So that was also in our Villager magazine, because it's about who you can meet there as well, just different people from Muslim, and as you can see, they're pretty, a bit of characters there. Very nice gentlemen. So this is one of our newer residents. He moved in just before Christmas last year. So this is Brian, and he has actually brought all of these by hand. Some of them, I'm trying to think which one, I think this one. Here, they're actually of real boats. There were actually no plans of any of these that he could find anywhere. So he went to the Maritime Museum and had some help there and dug around all the old archives to be able to find some old photos. And he managed to find some, and he's now managed to build all of this. All the photos that he could find were just of like this bit above, because it was obviously in water. So amazing. He actually unfortunately couldn't bring all, I think he had 20 of them with him to the village, but we also didn't want him to hand on too many of them, so he now actually has these ones displayed in one of our libraries. With that, we actually have, again, another blokes thing. We've just put not blokes thing, I got told off about that at the resident meeting, because we were going to call it the men's shed, but I got told that I wasn't allowed to call it the men's shed. It's called the residence workshop. So we've just set up a great resident workshop because, so the men, and no ladies yet, but they're invited, have started building things for around the village that they've just getting in there. We've supplied this whole great building with all the tools in the world that you could need. And they've started building tables and chairs. One of the residents who actually, independent living, but does have a walker, he really likes having a wine at happy hour. But of course, if you've got a walker, it's not hard to carry wine. So the residents got together and designed this sort of, like a little tray holder that sits on top of the walker with some holes in it, so wine. So it's actually been really, we've only had it open since December, but it's I don't know, I've been told by the health and safety officer came to look at it and said, some tables and chairs here and a little bar kind of thing, you know, that they can't actually drink in here while they're doing their bits and pieces. I'm like, that's a bit boring, but I tell you, they're loving it. It's because of course, yes, there is a bit of downsizing in most cases when you move into a village, but most of the things that you may need are actually provided there, and they're just going for it, including building this big brand new railway that you've got gondolas going across it made out of matchboxes and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, I just thought that would be a really good way to sort of show you a little bit about what village life actually is with real people, not just me standing here saying it's amazing, because these guys have sort of showed you. Right. So Sanae.
Yes, thank you, Kaileigh. I'm Sanae, I'm sales manager there. I am originally from Japan, been living in New Zealand for 20 years. So why I'm here? Because I used to export Japanese used cars. So that's how I, ended up coming to New Zealand. Then I was in the car industry for 10 years. I was more like a vehicle agent for wholesalers, so not so much retail. But back in 2008, when global recession hit whole, lots of industry, so I decided to leave the car industry and then started flying with Air New Zealand. Then again, I got made redundant because the recession hit the tourism industry as well. But lucky enough to go into Qantas because they were recruiting cabin crew for Cross Tasman. So I got in straight away. I was with them for 13 years. Then COVID. So then I took COVID as an opportunity to change my job. So now I'm here in the retirement sector. I really like it. I love people, still carry on doing a customer service, different stories every day. So I've been in the retirement sector for 4 years now. I was a sales assistant for the last 3 years with Metlife Care. Previously, I worked for Ryman as well. So anyway, that's enough. So back to Edgewater Village. So we are located in a great location, great part of Auckland. So that's us with smiley face. So 10 minutes to Sylvia Park, 10 minutes to Botany Downs, and probably 15 to 20 minutes to where we are in Ellerslie. So the motorway is just down the road, and once the East Busway is completed, getting around with the gold card is much easier. So our location is not just a convenient, it's also a hidden gem in a rich history. So founded nearly 40 years ago by the Cook family. So Edgewater Village is one of the oldest villages in Metlife Care family. So over the past 2 years, we had a huge makeover and introduced 47 brand new apartments with new facilities like swimming pools, hair salons, cafes and bars and so on, plus 24 care suite with hospital level of care. So we are set up nicely for continuous care in the village. Our vision is to be much more than retirement village. Sorry, if you could move to the next one. So a little bit of a photo of the facility here. We want to be a part of the community. So we want to open the cafe to the public. We want to rent out our meeting room, or we want to help organize a private function. We actually offer the Edgewater College music group to use our facility for practice sessions. We want people to use our facilities as a part of the community. So next slide, please. Here you go. I will show you some photos of our brand new apartments. I put a price guide to show you because housing affordability is a major issue in Auckland. So we think our village is well placed for people who want to retire in East Auckland. So next slide, please. some of photos there. So we've got the brand new apartment as well as nice cottages as well. So cottages with little bit gardens outside on the ground level. So apartment is more elevated with nice view. Alright. Would you like to wrap up the last one? Thank you.
This is a pretty impressive number. So in closing, we have around 7,000 residents throughout Metlife Care at the moment. So that's quite a few people that have decided to choose Metlife Care to call home, which is what we've got on, or if you've seen any of our new adverts, it's Welcome Home. Our villages are unique in design but consistent with premium lifestyle offerings and quality aged care service providers. So there is a little bit of everything. Especially out east, we're quite lucky, right? So there's Edgewater Village, Dannymore Gardens, Fairway Gardens, the new one out of Purakawa Landing, which is Beachlands. We've got Papakura Oaks just down south. We have Longford Park out south, and just down here and right is Seven St Vincent. So yeah, and there's a new one being built out in Clevedon, new one in Pukekohe. So there's quite a few coming through. And lots of different options. Talking to Rashida, you know, she went to, had a look at Fairway as well, and then looked at ours, and luckily for us, she chose us.
Yay.
But there's, I mean, the retirement village industry in general, you'll see it everywhere. You know, there's Hawke's Bay is huge at the moment. There's retirement villages popping up all over the place. There's just there. It's a good way for people to release a bit of equity within their own homes, flood the market with a whole lot of open properties, which means that it helps with a bit of a crisis that we've got at the moment where there's no buildings or nowhere for people to live. But yeah, I think we're really lucky. I mean, we wouldn't be here if we really didn't love Edgewater Village, because we don't put our names on anything, do we, Sanae? Yeah, I'd like to thank Rashida for asking us to come along and have a bit of a chat. I hope we've succeeded in our goals so we can high-five each other later on just sort of breaking down any of those barriers that you thought there might be, and about what retirement village living is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's quick.
Yes. Oh, yes. Sorry,
Who are
yes.
the major shareholders in Metlife?
We are owned by
EQT.
yeah, so that's a
Swedish.
overseas Swedish company, yep. It was probably 4 years ago
4 years,
that
yeah.
it was taken off the public market and purchased by them, yeah.
So a village such as yours, as far as other medical care, is that still done in-house or within Metlife Care as a whole, or how is that?
Medical care is in like rest home and hospital, yeah, we have rest home and hospital level care within our villages.
Or within your
Yes,
one?
yep, so at our village we have a 24-bed care home, which is rest home and hospital level. Yeah, and they're care suite models, so they're nice sized, about 26 square metres, and all have individual en suites as well. Yeah, but a lot of our portfolio, I think, in general for all village types, they are really, you know, there's just more and more need for care in general as well, right? There's a lot of ageing in place, which is fantastic, where you can receive cares into your own home as well. But everybody gets older. Well, I mean, it's a privilege to get older, to be able to get to the age that you are actually considered old, because there's a lot of people that obviously don't get there. Yeah, but there's all sorts of different.
So when you go from living in a self-contained apartment or a
Yes.
cottage, then you move up to the care, I suppose you have to sell your unit, do you? Or how do you work out the cost of transferring like that?
Yeah, there's a little transfer process. We don't make it difficult for you. Well, we try not to. We try not to. Yeah, normally, I mean, if you're buying a $600,000-700,000, and I mean this is in general, because of course every village is different. Just like if you buy down, say, a house in Otara, it's probably a lot cheaper than buying in the middle of Remuera. Same sort of thing. So all village all village costs and prices are quite different, but we do, if you are part of the Metlife Care family and you need to go into care within Metlife Care, at the moment we have waiting lists, but you would be priority. But
Yeah,
and the cost,
so you have asset with the
Yep.
unit, but when you go into care, you just rent a room, do you? Or how do you?
different in all areas as well. So there's different models that have come up. So there is a care suite model, which a lot of the villages have adopted, which is you purchase another occupational right agreement to do that. Some villages, and again, not just mine, they do, you pay your care fee, which is governed by the DHB. So every care home has to have a contract with the DHB to actually be able to operate. You can pay a premium fee, which is anywhere from like $60 to $120 every day that's not funded by the government to have a superior room. And then there are other places where there's no premium charge or very little premium charge, and you only pay the care fee, which again is governed by the DHB. Yeah.
So what's
All sorts of different
the
things.
weekly rate for a standard home or standard suite?
For
So you've
but
got
village or care?
for care.
For care, I think at the moment the DHB for rest home level, I think is about $180 a day. Yep. And hospital level, it's around $280 a day, I think. I think with the DHBs now all combined, so it's not separate. I'm not sure if that's sort of more the care side part of it, and I haven't been nursing for 4 years now, so it's a bit different for me. But yeah, that's all of those charges are governed. We can't give you discounts, sorry. That's what the DHB set. All of those details, however, if you go on to the aged care website, like Google, how much does it cost to live, or how much will I be subsidised in a care home, it actually gives you all of the costs. Yeah. Yeah, lots of costs.
So obviously the other worldwide issue, or particularly in New Zealand, has been from staffing, particularly at the medical end of things. How are you travelling there?
We're actually pretty good at our village. We've had a lot of our staff have been with Metlife Care a really long time, and they've continued that loyalty with us as well. So our maintenance manager has been with us for 27 years. Same with our security guard. We do have the natural turnover where people choose to leave. A lot of the people that leave to go out of Auckland. But at the moment we've got a really great recruitment company, and we also actually are trying our very best to be the employer of choice by offering a lot of additional benefits for the staff that actually work for Metlife Care. So at the moment, yes, and I guess there's a nationwide shortage of nurses. We do also recruit what we call IQNs, so that's international qualified nurses as well, and we assist them to come through if they've got the skill set that we need. Yeah.
Are you having to use a number from that area at the moment? Or?
We've just recently had one person come into our village, but otherwise a lot of it, when we opened the care home 2 years ago, a lot of the staffing came through from already people living and working in Auckland. Yeah, and I think they've got a really fantastic culture within the care home, and I think we've probably only had 2 out of probably 40 people employed there that have moved on. We've actually got a lot of people who have come through as casuals who would like to come back. Yeah, and it's all, I don't know, I mean, life's tough out there at the moment, right? Cost of living, and don't blame people for moving on sometimes if they need to. Hard going for everybody, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
So you'd have situations where